All right, welcome to another 902 gaming video where I go over the deck list from December 27th. Today I'm playing something interesting. I'm playing mono red. It appears to be burn. And it's using stuff like Crackle of Power, Royal Eruption, Heated Debate, Play with Fire, and Castle's Fury. It's playing a bunch of these red creatures that do something when you cast a non-creature spell. Ill-Tempered Loner, actually, it's been played against me quite a bit, and in multiples, this card seems very, very good anyway. But the one thing about this deck that I noticed, again, while building it, much like the deck that I played in my last video, it has 75 cards in the main deck and 15 cards in the sideboard. So unlike the previous video, which I think it was 66 cards in the main deck and 2 random sideboard cards. This actually has a full sideboard and is playing 75 in the main deck. So there's no error. The only potential error could be that certain cards in the main deck were supposed to be in the sideboard and they didn't realize it and they just doubled it and they just happened to play it and got to Mythic maybe in 2 games or 3 games, or maybe how they were super close to Mythic anyway, so it would count as Platinum to Mythic. I'm not sure, so there could be an error that way. But I said it before, I'm going to play it as is. There's a few cards that interested me here in this deck. The Relic Robber, which I keep looking at and thinking it might be good, but generally my opponent, when they play it against me, it doesn't really end up doing too much. 3 mana 2/2s, and even with haste, it's not that big of a deal. I'd rather be playing the other 3 mana spell, the Relic Storm Chaser or something like that, whatever it's called, Storm Seeker. Just because it can give another one of your creatures haste as well. So it gives itself haste and then it gives it to another creature. So we'll have to see how that plays out. So a bunch of cards in the sideboard. I'm not playing best of 3 again. I'm just playing best of 1. And we'll just kind of see how it does. I'm kind of interested. I really wonder if this potentially wasn't in error, but we'll see. And maybe they figured something out with this algorithm that I keep talking about. Who knows? So we're gonna put it together. Did I make any changes? I don't think that I did. Save, I guess. I don't think I made changes to it. Okay. Oops. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because this deck list seems to be playing some really interesting, has some really interesting card choices, and we'll see how it kind of does. It's not really playing a ton of spells, and it's playing stuff like the Lambhold, Raconteur, and the Caustic Flame Breather every time you cast a spell, and same with the Smoldering Egg and Maniform Hellkite. So, well, I got all my mana, and I can play stuff. So I'm on the play. Okay, we're gonna keep it. I think we're gonna lead with the mountain. I'm not gonna play this till I have to. Maybe play it next turn. Yeah. Doink. Yeah, we're gonna play it this turn. I actually prefer. I don't really like this spell or this card in particular. It's not a bad card necessarily, but I'd rather be playing something else. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just gonna play Rowan. Pick up. Now, it would be nice here to be able to play Zariel next turn if I draw an untapped land. Essentially, Dex is playing 26 lands. So playing Zariel would be, yeah, that's pretty good. Huh. What are you going to do?
I don't have time for this.
Yep. potentially then I still have burn down the house as an option. I still have Zerial as an option. Is it non-creature or is it instant or sorcery? Instant or sorcery, okay. Land would be good here. Provided, I don't think they can transform that. Well, that's pretty bad for me. Still need a land. Not sure what else I could get. I don't have a removal spell for... Okay. I'm just gonna play this, and I will create a token. Hopefully, I can block enough to set up burn down the house. I don't really have an out to chariot. I don't think in this deck. Let's see here. Maybe the Castle's Fury, I suppose, would have been one. Dragon's Fire, maybe if I had another dragon. Or kicked roll. Yeah, I don't really have an answer to a chariot. I'm likely in big trouble. Especially they'll probably cast Ren and 7 or something like that, and then it's pretty much game over. So I'm not likely to draw much land here. Yeah. I have 64. I got 23 lands left in the deck. That's less than a 50% chance to draw a land on my next turn. Thing has trample. Sure, I'll block.
I will remember your cursed name.
Yep, it's game over. Well, we know mono green's not a good matchup. Although they pretty much had a pretty good draw there. They had turn 3 Ovenwald Monstrosity. Yeah, there was not a lot I could do there. I don't think like this deck has to be like the 66 card definitely I'm sure was an error, and there's some arguments made for playing a 66 card deck. I think there was some math at one point that between 60 and 65 it really wasn't worth playing any more cards, but then at a certain point like between 66 and 68 or something, it was a while ago. We're gonna keep 2 removal spells, burn down the house. Yep. It's possible that I could have just spent the mana to scry there, but instead of killing the wolf on the first turn. It's possible maybe that's why the card is specifically there, is to actually just use it as a scry. Sure. Oh. It's like I heard howling. What the heck was that howling from? this thing. So I have to try to make, yeah, I have to try to make it to turn 5. Although this kind of deck is playing the Solara or Parasolara or whatever her name is. Basically just to gain a bunch of life and then have the 3-mana angel and then okay, well, I can play this one now. So Ill-Tempered Loner is actually pretty interesting because I never noticed the combination between that and Burn Down the House. It's very interesting. Because it can be dealt the 5 damage and then can deal 5 damage to opponent as well. Okay. Go to combat. I probably could have activated the Faceless Haven as well, but exile tap creature. Okay. We'll just end the turn. I'm not gonna spend. I could spend one of the Burn Down the House. Okay. Yep. None of them have lifelink, so not worried about it at this point. So what does this say? Draw a card if it's equal, if your life total is greater than or equal to the last life total. Okay. So we're gonna burn down the house. And then we'll... Oh, yeah. Alright. Well, we'll get to draw a card anyway. Yep. There's not much I can do there. Yep. Again, I'm not sure if this deck even has a place in this format right now. Just because of the amount of... What's the life total? 24. Just gonna kill it. I have a bunch of removal spells right now, so it doesn't really matter. I potentially could have tapped this to activate. That probably would have been the better choice to keep play with fire up. You only gain 1 life. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So still 21. Yeah. Unfortunately, with this particular matchup, this is a card again that really puts a damper on my strategy. It needs to be 21, eh? Okay. I don't want another Dragon's Fire, that's for sure. I need some kind of threat or something. Yep. There's the threat. Yeah. Now, fortunately, I won't be able to kill the Voice of the Blessed, and now I'm in trouble. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Allow them to sacrifice it now, anyway. And provided they don't draw another one, I'll be able to potentially sweep the board next turn. Yep. Hmm. I have to kill this thing, unfortunately. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess I'm not gonna get. Oh yeah. Okay. You got her. Yeah, I made a mistake. That was a mistake at the end there. My thought was if they play another creature, it's going to get another counter on it, and then it's out of the range. All right, let's try another one. So far, I have to say this is probably the worst deck that I've played. And it might have something to do with the fact that it's 75 lands, or 75 cards. I haven't seen a single threat besides, I think, the Dragon Egg and the Raconteur in that turn. Or in that game, rather. So something leads me to believe that something's up with how this deck was built. Okay, well, this is a little bit better. Yep. Just play the Den. This card's probably a lot better on the play as well than it is on the... It's horrible on the draw, I think. Maybe the person was playing against a ton of mill too. I'm not sure. But it seems like it was in error because it's exactly 15 cards. But that's why I do these videos. So if you're playing certain, or you see a deck list and you see it's kind of neat or whatever it happens to be. Now, I don't think the Relic Robber is actually any good against the mono black deck because the Deadly Dispute can actually sacrifice an artifact. So I don't think it's actually good, but we're going to give it a go here. See what happens. So it kind of runs counter. Yeah. So again, it just gives them a free out to be able to do something with that. Although I don't know if I mind the curve of... Like, I don't think Smoldering Egg should have been in this deck. I don't think there's enough. I'll go over it anyways towards the end in the deck. I'm not going to play another game after this. I think... I think I have to play this. Just... yeah, we're just gonna attack them. They'll block. That's fine. I thought it was only when he attacked. Oh, that was dumb. That was really dumb. It was dumb to begin with, but No, I thought it was when they attack, they get the token. So that was a mistake on my part. Again.
Dire times call for dire tactics.
Nope, cancel. I could have cast the gold span dragon there too. Sure. No. I can cast Castle's Fury. I'm just gonna end the turn. Yeah, I think I'll just end the turn. Yeah. There's no point. I should have cast the Goldspan Dragon there as well. But there's no point if you make a mistake to do it after the fact. You still want to play correctly even when you do make a mistake. Instead of trying to compensate by making a bad play. Sure.
Things have not gone my way.
Okay, the one instance that Castle's Fury is good. Yep. On the turn. So for 5 damage, for 5 mana, this will do 5 damage. That's interesting. Likely get hit with Blood in the... Oh, Hero's Downfall's fine too. Thought I'd get hit with the Blood in the Snow maybe to get the Sorin back, but likely not worth it at that point. All right, so I think I can play... I think I can attack and play Rowan. I can attack with the Den of the Bugbear. I think we'll activate like this. Go to combat. And we'll just cast Rowan here. Tick up. And end the turn.
I've learned lots of techniques from artists.
Field of Ruin. Yep. Get him out. So they used their Hero's Downfall already. Okay, another Warlock last. That's fine. I think this one specifically is much better than I think people give it credit for. Oh, what did they mill? Okay. Okay. We digging? What are we digging for? Probably digging for Blood in the Snow, I'm guessing. Destroy all planeswalkers and then get Sorin back. Yep. Lots of...
Art and combat aren't so different.
Now the flip side of this is I can actually cast Will, but I'm a bit worried about Blood in the Snow. So I'm not going to cast anything else. I'm a bit worried about Blood in the Snow, so I don't want to do anything there. to give them basically 2 for 1, and then get Soren back, so 3 for 1 basically. I could be wrong, but they're playing snow covered. Okay, I guess yeah, it's not going to do anything else in the deck. No. Okay, they're playing that instead. Okay, that's an interesting card. I think this is the correct play, because I can ping for 1 here, and they're at 5. They can gain a life. Yeah. I think they're just dead.
The Prismari teach some good moves.
Good game. Well, we have to eliminate somebody with Crackle with power, so there's that. All right, so we're gonna go over the deck. So against the mono black deck, it's not that bad, but I think I also drew really, really well in that game. Probably better than I should have. Okay. So we're 75 cards, so we have to get rid of 15. So we'll start from the top and go down. Okay, I don't mind this. These are fine. The dragon. Burn down the house is fine. The first card that's going to go is this. Heated debate seems fine. Although I guess it gets around the ward ability. I'm not sure how important that is. Maybe, I guess if you're playing against mono black. I don't like this card. Even this very small instance where I was able to sacrifice it to kill Soren there, where it would have just died otherwise. I still don't think it's a great card. Relic Robber, definitely not. It's got to go too. Although I still want to try to find some type of deck that does something with that card. And I think lastly, I think this card is interesting. But I think the Smoldering Egg has to go, because we're not really playing a lot of instants and sorceries. Yeah, I think even the Flame Breather's got to go. And what I'd like to actually do is play something similar to this. I don't even know if Zariel belongs here. We're also 26 lands, and I don't think we need 26 lands. I think 25 will probably be enough. So, and even in this instance here, I can understand playing Maniform Hellkite as just a 4-mana dragon. To also be able to activate your Dragon's Fire, because I think 4 toughness right now in standard is the way to go. Sorry, not the way to go, but the thing that you have to deal with the most is once a creature gets to 4 toughness, you're looking at you need 6 mana with a Meathook Masker to kill it. You're starting to get out of the range of the burn down the house. You're starting to get out of the range of a lot of things. So at 4 toughness, it doesn't take them very long to get it above the 5 toughness mark. And there's a lot of creatures that have 4 toughness, that, especially the Angel out of the mono white deck. So I don't think Royal Eruption belongs in the deck either. I could be wrong. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. But I every time I played that card as being, if it was an instant, it'd be 100% playable. As a sorcery, I don't think it's very good. I don't mind Chandra. as a card draw. Rowan in this deck, maybe not quite as good. Although I don't mind being able to cast Will off of a couple of treasure tokens. So that's a pretty good ability there too, because he can be a 5-mana draw 2 cards where normally red doesn't have any card draw really at all. It's got, you know, the exile mechanic or whatever, but likely what I would play is Thundering Rebuke. I think I would play this over the Royal Eruption, even though yes, you can target the opponent with it. The fact that it can't target the Faceless Haven, it can't target any of the lands because of their sorcery speed. For what is it, 7 mana to target the opponent? That's not really that great as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, if it was an instant, it'd be playable for sure. But because you need something to deal with the 4 toughness. It also deals with planeswalkers like Sorin and Lolth and other stuff out of the mono black deck. I think it fills the gap. Like after taking Kazul's Fury out, again, I don't think that's that great. If it's going to die, sure, that's fine. Or you're going to finish off your opponent with the Inferno. I think that's okay. But I don't specifically like Kazul's Fury for that reason. You're only going to do it in response to, you know, your opponent casting something like that. And maybe that's the case. Maybe that's why it's there. But I also think going down to 60 cards is much, much better. You'll see your bigger cards way more often. I don't know. See, the problem with Rowan in this deck and having Burn Down the House is Burn Down the House also deals damage to all planeswalkers. So do you really need something to get rid of planeswalkers? If you're playing Burn Down the House, maybe not. There isn't really much else. I mean, I kind of like this combination, and maybe the deck deserves some form of a build around that somehow. But that would require, I think playing Burn Down the House doesn't allow you to play any planeswalkers. Really, like I don't think Chandra's going to be worth it with playing this card. And it's fine for the most part. I like for terms of mass removal, it's fine. If you're playing just mono red, it's the only option that you have. But I think this style of deck is better suited to be played in a different color. You just have more options when you go to a different color. I think this color is more, or leans more towards being fast and aggressive. Or maybe like a tempo style or something like that. That's why I like the blue-red deck so good, because it plays like a tempo style and tries to hit all of its land drops with cantrips and stuff. And then this one's trying to play a mid-range game, but doesn't have outs if it falls too far behind. Like you saw in the game against the green-white deck. Once the cleric gets above 5/5, I'm using 2 cards to get rid of it. I need Burn Down the House plus something else. So, and it's all for that reason. It's possible that the I forget what it's called. Cleansing, no, not Cleansing Wildfire. Cinderclasm. That's it. Cinderclasm potentially could be in the Thundering Rebuke spot as well. Just because it can deal with all those little 1 toughness creatures. It's possible to, I think, if we cut back on a couple of lands, and a card that I like a lot is Spikefield Hazard. So I think if you're looking to just play against mono black, I think Spikefield Hazard is a good choice for you. I don't know about cutting as many lands out of the deck. Maybe that's not a good idea. But your curve kind of stops at 4, and then you just have a couple of things over, like 5 mana and stuff. And you have basically Crackle of Power to finish the game. So it's possible you may want like 24 and 61 Well, I think the math works out kind of the same. And then you still have, technically, you still have like 26 with the 2 Spikefield Hazard. So you maintain sort of the same land base as the previous deck had. So I had 26, although the math is still off on it because it was 26 and 75, which realistically, I mean, I guess at some point you start at 26 lands, you're under 50%, but you're not that far under 50%. But anyways, I'm kind of going on a rant with this deck. I don't. Again, I think this is the worst deck that I've played so far, and that's not a comment on the person that built it. Again, maybe there was a deck building error where you're like, oh, I got to put this card and this card and this card, and then you realize your sideboard's empty when you had a bunch of cards in your main deck, and you didn't realize they went into your main deck. Because I've done that plenty of times, where I've opened the sideboard, and then be like, oh, okay, I want Flame Bust Bolt, and I'll click it, and it'll just add it here, even though I have this open. I've done it many, many, many times. So that could have happened. Maybe not. Maybe they were just playing against a bunch of mills. Maybe the other possibility is too that they were building the deck, building it in a hurry. They just wanted it. They had like a couple games to get the Mythic. They were building it quickly, and then they realized they didn't have a sideboard, so they put a bunch of stuff in their sideboard and didn't realize they were playing a 75 and 60. Played like 2 or 3 games or whatever it was, and then actually won, got into Mythic, so it ended up registering in the system. But I just wanted to showcase some of the cards in the deck that I've been thinking about. The Relic Robber, the Ill-Tempered Loner as well. Again, I never noticed this combination. Burn Down the House and Ill-Tempered Loner. It's kind of neat and interesting, I guess. But yeah, that'll do it for this deck. I think the cards individually are worth it for the most part, but I think as a deck, I likely would stay away from this one. It doesn't feel very good, at least that iteration that I was playing. But then again, it was 75 cards. So anyways, I'm going on a tangent. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.